Yeah. Recording?
Yeah. I have to wait that someone joins to pin.
Okay. All right. So when people join up, we pin.
Yeah.
Oh, hi, Mark. So today's lesson, so we're recording now. Might as well keep going. Okay. Today's lesson, what we're going to be going over is the standing guillotine choke. And I don't know what am I teaching?
Punch block.
You remember. Punch block from guard. Okay. So it's that thing where you have your legs wrapped around somebody and you don't get knocked out for doing it. So today, the very first part of the class, as always, is watching Lisa do 4 girls, break ball, standing base. You got this. Yeah, it is. Standing base. Roll over the elbow. Nice. Cool. Good. Oh, you look tough with your tape on your feet. It's bored. There you go. The computer's doing the thing now.
Okay. Hello and welcome.
So now you can pin. Okay. All right. Let's move that camera back down so they can watch you. All right. So I'm gonna roll. Good fall. Stand base. Yeah. Stand base. Perfect. Good. Other way. Good. Imagine, if you will, an entire classroom in a line, going this way and then going that way. Keep going backwards. Back chin. Boom. Try not to tuck your butt underneath you when you do that.
Okay.
Yeah. Like you're sitting for a chair. Lift the chair, lift the chair, lift the chair, lift the chair.
Underneath?
No, it's gonna try not to.
Okay.
Look for the chair. So instead of this, it's this. That. So, oh, we fall. That's good.
Awesome.
Is that here? Good. Go. Nice-ish. It was until the end. It's awful. Okay, so let's do some hip escapes now because they know what we're doing now. So let's do a couple laps of hip escapes. Scoot towards me a little bit, please. Just scoot over here. Yes. Reach your toes. Bring yourself back. Reach your toes. Good. Toes around as possible. Perfect. You're doing really good. Nice. Again. Pause when you face the camera. Pause here. Yes, that's what I was going to say. Tiny add on. I want your heel coming off the ground and driving into your knee every time we do this. Okay. That's good. Remember to breathe. Everything you do should be accompanied by a breath. Okay? Breathe out. Keep a rhythm with it if you want. Whatever keeps you honest. Make sure you breathe. Yes, turn your heel. Don't get lazy on it. Good. Turn around, come back the other way. Okay. I should stay on the camera for this. So imagine you had to do the entire length of the mat. You're doing good. Yes. Good. Touch your big toe. Good. Notice how your shoulder has to roll a little bit closer to the mat to do that. Good. Stay low. Good. Turn your heel to the ceiling. Dig your toes in. Yes. Good. Good. Yes. Yes. I'd like to remind you that a year ago you were awful with this. And now you are so good.
Thank you
So good.
I'm so tired.
You're doing great. Okay. Yeah, okay, she's done for the day now. It's over. Time. You just stand up and sing. All right, stand base. Yes. Okay, one little addendum to that. So if you need to stand in base and someone's coming towards you, you need to create a little bit of distance. So just this, if I was here and I didn't feel confident about the idea of standing up right now, so we'll teach this in later classes, but if I start to stand up and she's coming at me, no good. So the first variation that you learn is to start to stand by putting your foot next to your hand, okay? Now, we're just gonna swap feet, okay? So I'm gonna throw this foot back. So when I start to stand, I want that foot in line with my hand, okay? So that means I'm gonna create some distance. When you want for reference, Pause here. If I stand up right now, actually take a step further towards me. Pause. Hold out your left hand. Not a good place for me to be. Stay where you are. Much better place for me to be. Okay? So, not necessarily what I want you doing in that circumstance. I'm just using that to prove a point. Okay? Now, what we're going to be going over today is the basic application of the guillotine from standing. All right? So, first things first, how do we get to a guillotine? Good warm up for you. If you're working with a partner, your partner needs to warm up their neck a little bit. So the rotation thing is a thing. Sure, you can do that. But if you make two fists, put them under your chin, push the chin up, and use your chin to push down. So you create a little bit of resistance. Okay? Tense your face and do the ugly face. I got just a neutral ugly face. Two fists. Push your tongue into the top of your mouth as you're pushing up and down. Put your hand on the side of your head, push into your hand, and start to do little circles and up and down. Warm your neck up. Yes. Now, don't do neck bridges. That's not a thing, okay? You can help yourself, slip a disc, whatever. You're going to be incurring a lot of injury and a lot of pressure on your spine. What I mean is like putting your head on the ground and bridging back and forth. You can be a whole lot cooler with this. Just put your hand by your head and push. Put a fist underneath your chin and push. Also, you can put your head on a wall. Push your tongue up into the roof of your mouth. And start to tense. That's a whole lot safer than doing your neck bridges, right? I don't know if they still teach that anymore. They're like old school wrestling. Yeah, I ruined my neck. Still recovering. All right, so I'm going to retie my pants. It's a technical procedure. How do I end up in a guillotine? Ninja. Okay, I'm going to give you the worst case scenario for pretty much every fight ever. Come a little bit closer. He's not supposed to be there. Just the shit tackle. Shit tackle is the way to go, okay? No one is dropping a level and shooting in for a fucking double in a street fight. Let's deal with stupid before we deal with technical, okay? So right now, if I put my nose before my toes, hold your arms out. My nose goes before my toes, and I go, I want those legs. Good. Let's see you by That's what we're dealing with first, okay? Now, notice the first thing she did was rapid guillotine. I want you to stop the tackle first, okay? Don't get a submission. I want you to find base, okay? Now, I complain constantly about base, and I always will for the rest of my life. Hickson scarred me. Jason scarred me. Tell for sure. Every Hickson person ever has scarred me for life due to base. Because I did jiu-jitsu for like a decade before I even knew anything about base. I was just like, fuck it, let's die. Just jumped into fights. No, find your base before anything. Learn how to defend yourself before anything. So turn towards me, please. Put your nose before your toes. And I want you to walk towards me, holding your arms out, and go, yeah. Perfect. That's what we're dealing with. We're dealing with, yeah. That was my beer. That's as hard as it has to be for now, okay? What I was talking about, all the other classes, I've talked about pushing a core up a hill and then being neutral side to side as bent force, right? So imagine if I had to push a car up a hill, this is pretty solid. I can continue forward with this momentum, right? But what if the car decided to go this way? Shit, okay? I'm not gonna have what's called base. I want a 4-point lateral base, all right? If I go like this is really good until the car starts to move towards me, all right? If I go like this, it's fantastic to go forward, but if it decides to go this way, I'm screwed, all right? So we need to find a 4-point base. What we're gonna practice just quickly before we do attack and defense, we're just gonna step our feet outside of our shoulders. And also, if you go back through all the classes, I think I do this every class. Sorry. This is gonna be every class for the rest of my life. My feet are gonna go just outside of my shoulders. This is what's known as a neutral base, okay? My foot is gonna take a step back, and when it does, I'm not gonna get narrow. I'm gonna stay neutral base, okay? So if you look at me from the side, narrow, narrow, neutral. So now I have a little bit of base from side to side and a little bit of base forward and back. That's much more important than overdoing something and underdoing the other, okay? You want to find the middle between everything forever. From here, if she was to put her nose before her toes and she starts to walk forward, I can put 2 hands on the shoulders, and if I stay in neutral, I'm gone. Now, if I was to put a foot behind me like I'm pushing a car, if I stay in neutral, yes. Now just pick a side. So instead of pushing my arms off, literally just turn your ass.
Okay.
Yeah, so come back, pause here. If I'm straight line, pause. If I am straight line and she walks forward, yes, come back. I need to find weight distribution, okay? We'll go over the whole move in a second, but this is important, okay? Right now, if I put all my weight in my back foot to push and she walks forward, I'm gonna get lifted, okay? What I need is all my weight in my front foot. Now she walks forward, it's nothing, okay? Imagine you're skateboarding. So you're not pinning yourself here when you skateboard, here, okay? Your weight's in your front foot and your knee should be slightly bent forward, okay? Now when I do that, my weight is coming slightly forward. Good, I'm still shit side to side. That's where I need it to be. I want my weight in my front foot and I want a fighting base or a 4-point base, okay? Just in case, head forward, pause here. If I'm pushing a car up a hill, but that car decides to turn its ass that way, I'm gonna go that way, okay? So my job is this. Pause, use your partner. They're gonna put their nose before their toes and they can put their hands on their knees just so they can relax while they're doing this. And they're walking forward and adding a little bit of weight to you so you can feel this. Put 2 hands on your knees and relax. If I have 2 hands on her shoulders and I start to push a car up a hill, slowly walk forward. My weight goes into my back leg. Good. If I put my weight forward into my forward leg, north forward or whatever, walk forward, it's much harder, isn't it? Okay, cool. Now, what I need to do is I need to find a wider base in case she decides to go this way or this way, okay? Continue forward. My weight's still in my left foot, that one, okay? That leaves my back knee open, okay? So the first thing you can do is you can knee them. The second thing you can do is you can elbow them. Then you can guillotine them, do whatever you want, okay? But what I want from you is to find your base first. Do me a favor and face the camera.
Here?
My bad. Pause here, bend forward. I want you to walk forward and grab my legs. Yes. I'm in trouble. Walk forward and grab my legs. Yes. So we have a bit of a reflex drill that we can have here, okay? From here, I want you guys to start with your hands up. You all right?
Yeah.
Too much time in the spa? Yeah. Walk away a little bit. Good. Your partner's going to bend forward, hold out their arms, and reach for your legs. Your job is to drop into base, like you're on skateboard, okay? You're not going to be going, no, you're going to go here. See how I'm in the middle between my legs? I'm not overdoing something, okay? Everything's in the middle. Here. Your partner's going to come towards you. Here. I want you to feel that a couple of times. Okay, I'm going to do it to you, all right? So, you didn't get to see, so watch me. Wow. Okay. When you do this, your hands are in the middle because you didn't want any trouble. Perfect. Your job is that your weight finds the middle, not this. Your weight finds the middle, and I want your weight in the forward leg. Good. Okay. So, 2 hands on the shoulder. That's not fucking bad. Actually, okay. Not bad. Yes, no, that's fine, that's fine. Your base is mobile. You need to understand that. It's not, ha, done. If they move this way, what's the base look like? It looks pretty neutral to me. So from here, I'm always going to be following that center line, but I'm going to be neutral. That's what makes it seem like, guy's solid. It's so hard to move. He's so strong. She's so strong. She's very strong. Yes. Yes. Ah, yes. Yeah. No. Oh, shit. It was better than nothing. Okay, so when your arms give way, it's your forearms. So that's a huge thing for you to understand. Drop a level and start to come at me. My hands slip, keep going. It becomes my forearms. If my forearms slip, it becomes my chest. There's never going to be a point of, no. I'm always adding weight. I want you to walk forward and grab my legs. Ah, keep going. Ah, keep going. Ah, keep going. Oh, look. It's a guillotine. Okay. So that's how we're going to get into the guillotine. Okay? One more time. I want you to literally do this and stop me. Okay? Pause, relax, and breathe. Yes. Good. Yes. Good. Yes. You're not going to stop it forever. You're going to use that energy. Okay? One more time. Change your angle. Change your angle. Yes. Good. Yes. Good. Your job is to find your base and add weight to the person. Now, once you've added weight, grab me again. Pause. Yeah, perfect. My job is I'm going to pull the head to the knee. Good. So your partner can put their hands together, kind of block. Boom. Get used to doing that a couple of times. If they come in again, and they get a little bit closer, now the knee isn't as effective. The elbow is. Okay? Getting elbowed in the spine hurts a lot worse than you think it does. Okay? Especially the next day. You pop a couple elbows in the spine, you're like, whatever, I'm fine. The next day, you are sitting like an old man who is so sorry about his past. Okay? From here, drop a level, come in. Boom, I find my base. If it slips, it's fine. From here, I can knee, good. From here, I can elbow. They drop, you add weight or you get away. Okay? But for now, I'm going to go over the guillotine itself. So for that, I'm going to bring it up a level and talk about super technical crap that's annoying and boring. Anal retentive, right? So if her nose is before her toes, that exposes the neck choke. So now the guillotine choke is usually done extremely wrong, and the guy taps anyways because he doesn't know any better. Okay? If something hurts, tap. Right? What I want is perfect structure that involves no strength and depth. Okay? So if I'm here and my partner was to bend forward a little bit higher up, you midget, I was here. When I wrap, it is not a deep wrap. Okay? I do not pull my arms through. And from here, I do not lift by pushing my hips forward. This is not a thing. I can feel her wanting to tap. Yeah, okay. Now, turn your chin towards me. Put two hands on my hips and start to pull your head out. Yes. Okay. You need to understand structure on this one, okay? Also, does a guillotine look like this? No, like the physical guillotine, right? So if you look at a literal guillotine, what is it? Straight shot. What I need is a top and a bottom for that. If I have a top here and a bottom here, and I do this, where's the top? Nothing but a huge space. What I want to do is I want to close everything off, and what I'm doing is lifting my thumb to my shoulder. So if my shoulder rolls forward and my thumb comes up, there's a tiny little triangle right here where your neck is. As opposed to, if my shoulder goes up and my wrist goes up, there's a giant hole where your head just goes, nah, I'm good. Okay? Let's understand structure about this. Bend the head forward, please. If I put my arm and wrap it around the neck, when I wrap, right now, if my elbow goes back and goes deep like this, it seems like I know what I'm doing. But if I'm here and I'm wrapping and holding something and my elbow goes back, this is very weak, okay? How many people here go to the gym and do this exercise? Not many, okay, recovering people sometimes. Right here, if you started to pull my hand, it's gonna be hard to hold. And you can do this with a partner. You can be the strongest man in the world. You keep pulling, it's not gonna hold. What I want is this. I want your elbow to go forward. See how my elbow is past my wrist? Now it's much harder to pull, okay? Now, from here we have a bit of structure. let's add on to that. If I was to do a guillotine by pushing my hips in, you notice how my shoulder goes back and this giant area opens? So not only is it easy to pull, it's also easy to pull the head out. Come here, please. If I do this, I want you to just lift your head to the ceiling. Yes. How many people out there have done a guillotine and had somebody's head pop out? It happens. Come back. If I was to roll my shoulder over the top, pull your head to the ceiling. There's something in the way, right? Okay. Now my elbow is back. Pull your head out. Yes. It's weak, but strong. Okay, so let's make it strong and strong. All right? So what we're doing is we're going to push our elbow forward, roll our shoulder forward. That's the start of the guillotine. All right? Now from here, when I start to lift, there's still a little hinge right here where my wrist is. If she started to pull, my wrist could give way. Right? Remember here, if she started to pull, my elbow gives way. And so if I do this, ha! She starts to pull, my wrist gives way. What I want you to do is I want you to push your elbow forward. I want you to roll your shoulder down, and I want you to check your watch. Okay? You're always going to be able to see what time it is. It's time to stop.
Yes.
From here, I'm going to hold on to the chin. I'm not pushing my hand all the way through. Start with your partner by holding the chin like you're holding a football. So cup the chin, elbow goes forward, shoulder rolls, and you're going to have a C-clamp on your wrist. Now from here, I'm going to scoop ice cream. You notice how my hips did not move once. I didn't do this. I did this. Okay? What I'm doing is I'm scooping the throat out. And you're also cutting off the carotids. You're here, noogie. You're here. You're going to hold the chin. You're going to push the elbow forward, roll the shoulder down, C-clamp on the wrist. You can get fancy later. C-clamp the wrist and check your watch. When you check your watch, you do not stand up for a guillotine. You want your shoulder going down and your wrist scooping upwards, okay? What's very important here is that you don't give anything away, okay? Don't give up the elbow. Don't give up the shoulder. Go, no, mine. Mine, mine, mine. And now the last part, find your base, okay? The most important part. If they keep driving through, you need base, just like you were pushing a car up a hill, but keeps moving side to side. Don't do this, and don't do this, don't do this. Where's my base? It's gone. I don't want to pull a guard for a guillotine. I want to stay standing. Also, if they're not choking, just take them down to the ground. You don't have to go to the ground, ever. You should be on top. Okay, one last time, whole lot less talking. Start with your partner, nose before toes. Hold the chin. Elbow goes forward, shoulder goes forward. C-clamp the wrist. From here, find your base. The arm that's forward is the leg that's forward forever. Scoop ice cream. Remember to tap. Chin. Elbow goes forward, shoulder rolls forward. I'm going to continue to talk to. Not bad. Okay.
Wait.
What? All right. Elbow forward, shoulder rolls, and I want you to scoop again. Yes. Yes. Your base is terrible. Fix your base. Where's your elbow going? That's better. Test your partner's base. What's the point of learning something if you can't apply it in the actual world? All right? One more time. Hold the chin. Good. You got me. Good catch. From here, roll. Yes. Elbow. Pause here. How's your base feel? Feels pretty good. Roll. That not bad. Okay, so the final variation on this, your partner's going to start over there, and you're going to be here with your hands up, and they're going to slowly come in for a tackle. Yes, and you're going to go, no, continue through. Yes, carry them on. The exact same spot, okay? So this time, put your hands up, stay just here, middle. You don't want any trouble, okay? And we're going to go super slow And you're gonna stop the tackle. Yes, and you're gonna make that a guillotine. Yes, 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 that was good. Where's your elbow going? Your elbow goes forward, your shoulder rolls down, you scream. That was perfect. All right, do the side you feel good on. I know that's your good side. I know that's your shit side. Practice your good side a couple of times. Elbow. If I can get out, I will. Oh, good save. To be a good partner on this, if you can get out, get out. Don't lie. Let your partner do it a million times, nice and slow. But eventually, the things that I just mentioned, check them. Put the guillotine on. Yes. Put the guillotine on. Yes. Put the guillotine on. Yeah, that's way back. That took three tries. And you weren't faking either. You just sucked twice and you were good once. Okay? Let's do that again. Yeah. There we go. All right, I think you're good. That was solid. Okay, so run down on that. The first thing you should do, neutral. Find your base, weights in your front leg for the tackle defense. Tackle defense, you can knee, you can elbow. You can get as fancy as you want later. There's a whole bunch of actually really interesting, cool stuff you can do from the tackle defense. Okay? For now, guide them in to a perfect guillotine application. That's it. I didn't have to do anything else. My job was to go, oh, no. I said no. Okay? If I don't have structure, oh, I don't have base. God, guillotines don't work, man. That's bullshit. All right, guillotines work. You see them done like half-assedly, and they work. You can watch old ass fights, and you'll see a guy like, and the guy's gonna hang in midair, and eventually he taps. They're real, but they're always applied with strength instead of structure. Okay? So again, your base is more important, your structure is more important, blah, 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 and then the weight. All right. Whew, how you feel?
Hello.
All right. I need coffee. Hey! Boom. Okay. That's perfect time.
Time to
Punch you in the face from the guard?
yes.
Stop. Yeah, lay down. Worst case scenario, let's say, oh, actually, you know what? Let's swap roles. I want you to hop on top of the mount. We're on camera. You can see it. You good?
Yes.
Okay, hop on top of the mount. Yes, you're doing good. Maybe you suck at mount.
Well, I just.
Where are you?
Here.
Where are you? What were you doing on top of the mount? Did you cover the distance to manage the damage?
I did.
Did you get to a clinch and do a body full takedown? And then you executed that perfectly and got to what's called the mount, but you didn't do as many classes as you should have on the mount. And now we're here in the guard segue. That's why we're here, okay? You don't pull guard. Heads up. Don't pull guard. I don't care who you are. Don't pull somebody on top of you because you know a couple of tricks. Stay on top. It's a lot easier. There's more tricks from the top anyways, plus you can elbow him in the face and the fight's done. So she needs to learn how to not get knocked out underneath somebody. That is so important. So much more important than you want it to be. From here, if you were to wrap your legs around me, also, if anybody ever gone to a jiu-jitsu school and they just start by wrapping their legs around somebody they don't know, you're like, what was that?
Yeah.
What is this? Yeah, I had that. So when I started, I went into a classroom, somebody wrapped their legs around my waist and then tried to pull my arm across and then roll over on top of me. I'm like, what the fuck is this? What is this?
I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So context is kind of important. Roll over with me. You're amazing. Good work. Are we on camera? Can you see the camera?
Yes, we are on.
You're in the mount. The mount is. Are we on the camera?
Yeah, but
Fine, just stay where you are. Are you in the camera? Good. Make a fist, touch my face. From here, she can touch me, I can't touch her. You're doing great. So that's the whole point. Gracie Jiu-Jitsu, one-on-one. Cover the distance, take down, stay on top. You can manage the damage a lot easier from on top. Let's say you've only done like a month of classes. Oh no. And where are we now? We are in the guard. Now, the guard is one of the most important things you will ever learn, okay? Half guard, Z guard, all the other cool guard, octopus guard, whatever. There's a million cool guards out there. Have fun, have a blast. This one is the one that you don't get to touch the face. Now, that's it, okay? So from here, let's call it guard for a reason. Wrap your legs around that waist. Pause here. And don't get to get away from her now, okay? It's hard for me to go back. It's not about passing the guard and getting some points. Her job right now is to wrap the legs around me because the legs are 7 to 10 times stronger than the arms. Now she can move me around with her legs. Hold me. That's a thing. Okay. Spider guard, quick. Don't let me touch it. Time. Yeah, I know, thank God. Over your shoulder and be cool. So not cool. What I'm going to go through is a series of punch block from the guard. What I want you to understand is from the closed guard, you need to still manage the distance to manage the damage. Stand up for me, please, one last time. Make a fist and touch my chin. This is a terrible distance for me. This is a good distance for me. This is a terrible distance for me. This is a good distance for me. All right, hop down. Between the legs, pause here. Make a fist and touch my chin. This is a terrible distance for me. This is a good distance for me. This is a terrible distance for me. This is a good distance. Perfect. Okay, so we're going to break this down into a couple of steps, and then eventually what I want from you guys is they're just going to be in hell the entire time. You're never going to be in a straight line, but for now, we're starting off with the most important stuff. Turn towards the camera, please, and tell me if we're on.
Yes.
We in the center?
Maybe a little.
Sure.
Lower.
We'll change a couple angles, and we're going to break this down into stages, okay? So let's say this is stage one. Stage one, I got rolled off of the mount. From here, this is bad. This was a terrible decision. Roll over to the mount with me. I lost control. I got rolled off. This is a much better decision for me right away. I need to make sure that I manage the distance first. Now from here, what I'm doing is this. I'm hugging the back of the neck, and I've got my arms over the top. I don't have to have overhooks or anything just yet. My ankles are crossed around the waist, and they're pulling in. They're not just hanging out down here doing nothing. I want my ankles where the tailbone is. My knees are pinched gently and pulling in. I have a monkey grip on the back of the neck, and I have a flat hand here on the scapula. My elbows are pinched, and my head is off of the ground. If my partner was to put 2 hands on the ground and push into their butt to sit up straight, good Lord, I need it. Yes. Push into your, yes, good. Again, bad. I'm never gonna let my partner create distance, okay? So if I'm here and I'm hanging off of them, if they start to push off the ground, I'm gonna stay sticky. Good, come back down. So we're gonna test that with our partner. They're gonna sit on their butt and push their head to the ceiling. Again, they sit on their butt, they push their head to the ceiling, perfect. Come back, please. Number one from here is to stay sticky to manage the damage, okay? Number two, if I'm here, I want you to take this hand and I want you to put me in a headlock. Don't overthink it, perfect, come back. Take that hand and put me in a headlock, 100%, you're doing really good. Again, put me in a headlock. I need to be able to swim and pummel my hands. I want you to slow motion put me in a headlock. Even slower than that. My arm comes underneath and it reaches for the ceiling and it comes back down. What's important here is that if my knees were back, her elbow wouldn't have to lift. Again, I'm gonna be late. I'm gonna be too late to be able to do that. Again, please. So I'm always gonna have my knees pulled to me, making a ramp so that her elbow has to go up and open a door for my arm to come in easily. Again, please. Good. Again, please. I'm gonna miss it. Stay low. Put me in a headlock. Yes, don't pull your elbow to the ceiling unless you have to. Just go. Yes.
All right.
Yeah, I know. Again. Yes, I'm never gonna be able to swim. Again, always gonna be able to swim, okay? Does that make sense? Okay, do a push-up. Into your butt, head to the ceiling, like we've been doing. Perfect, come back down. Try and put me in a headlock. Perfect. 2 steps. Last step. From here, my partner's gonna do the same thing on this side. She's gonna peel my arm off and put me in a headlock. Yes, 100%. From here, again, slow motion. If I was to just pummel, sit up straight. I have no control over the back of her neck, and she can get her distance. Come back. From here, when your partner starts to pummel on this side, I want you to pass the head. Continue. I want you to swim through. And now from here, they're not allowed to look at you. Make them look the other way. Okay? Never let them look at you. Here's a quick tip on how to make them not look at you. Come here. Pause here. Look at me. From here, I can jam the face. I can put a thumb in the eye socket. There's a lot of coulds in life. Some people really care, and they're going to keep trying to come towards you. I want you to just take your index finger and make a knuckle, and you're just going to push right there. No one likes it. No one. I don't care how tough you are. The mastoid right there sucks. If you got to put a thumb in the eye, do it. Cool. You're a badass. But you can just push right between where the jaw and the earlobe meet. Do it to yourself right now. Tell me how you feel. It's not fun. Do it to me. Do it to me. Like, no, that's too low. Here, be mean. God, yes, that's the one. So again, pause here. From here, she does a push-up into her butt, head to the ceiling. You can, good Lord, put your butt down, head up. You're very good. Come back. Again. Yes, that's how we practice this. If they do something else, it's a whole nother thing. From here, she swims. Perfect. From here, she swims. I pass the head, I swim, and I say, don't look at me. And I hold them tight. You're going to do that to me. Okay? Sweep her leg. Okay. From here, you already managed the distance. Okay? From here, be a good bad guy. Push off with your hands and push your butt down. If I did this, there's a million other things we can do because of that. But for now, I just want you to understand that you need to be sticky. Okay? I'm going to turn for the camera so they can see. I'm just going to push my butt down, my head goes up, and she stays sticky. Okay? From here, her knee should be pulling towards her chest, the other pulling. Perfect. My elbow's going to hit that femur, and it has to go up. She's going to come underneath on the outside, the other way. Yes, through the hole. Yes. Perfect. Okay, yes, 100%. Yeah. Very good. Now, I'm going to do it on this side. If I start to pummel, she's going to hold the back of my neck so I can't get away. Yes, and don't look out. Gosh, that was really good. Hold tight. Keep your head tight. I'm going to headbutt you if you don't. Good. I push off of the ground. Very good. From here, I'm going to start to swim. You better pummel. Good Lord. Oh, man. Yes, good. Yeah, don't know what you did it either. Good work. From here, I can't. Yes, she's sticky. She's annoying. Very good. I start to pummel over here. Hold my head. Swim. Why am I looking at you? Good God. Oh, perfect. Yeah. Whew, proud of you. Okay. Now, let's go over stage 2. All right? All right. I wonder what the comments are on that one. Ugh. Hop back in my guard, please.
Yeah.
You're doing great. We're almost done, baby. Very good work. Perfect partner. You ready? Hop in the guard. We still in the center?
Yeah.
Cool. We're going to do a couple angles on this. So now, what I need you to understand, right now, I'm hugging them in nice and tight. My head's off the ground. My knees are pulled to me. Right now, take your right hand and punch me.
Right?
Yes.
Okay.
Your right hand and punch me. It's so hard to do, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a pain. Punch me with the left. That's a oh. I had that coming. All right, so take your left hand and touch my head. Yes, you can totally touch my head. Have you ever punched a bowling ball? It's not fun. If they're going to punch you, swinging to the head's going to do them more damage than it's going to do to you. But we're going to have an answer to that in just a second. okay? But what we need to do is we need to worry about our body that's open on this side. So everything's trapped on this side, and it's very hard to, also pummel. It's hard to do if I don't let you, right? Yeah. This hand is free, and there's a space open for my ribs, and I want you to just give me a big old punch in the ribs. Sweet revenge. A little bit louder. I'm gonna hum, and then you're gonna no. Yeah, it's a real thing. That's a real thing. You have to be aware of it. So now when she does that, mean it, I'm gonna cover that distance. My elbow and my knee touch, okay? When this arm opens up enough, pause. There is more than enough space to put my elbow and my knee together. Now from here, my foot's finding the hip. I'm gonna hug the head, hand on the tricep, okay? So punch me with that hand. It's a lot harder to do now, isn't it? Come back. From here, in a straight line still with your partner. You haven't had time to change angle. From here, there's an open space from the strike. You're gonna close that door. Your foot's gonna find the hip. Your shin is gonna meet their bicep. From here, I don't just grab, sit up straight. Terrible decision on my part. From here, I'm gonna swap. I'm gonna hold the neck, I'm gonna hold the tricep. Punch me with that hand. That hand, yes, it's hard to do. Now, we have the option of shifting into what's known as a vale tudo grab. That was adorable. You just nuzzled into me to scratch your nose. Yeah. I'm trying to teach. You're awful. From here, I'm in a middle ground where I have the ability to start to shift into what's called a vale tudo guard. Okay, and we'll talk about that in later classes. For now, let's say we're safe on this side. Punch me with your right hand. Ugh, again, fine. I'm covering that distance to manage the damage. My shin is in the way, my hand is on the outside, and I have two monkey grips on the outside of the triceps, okay? My feet are on the hips. She's able to sit up now, but like, touch my face. Headbutts, whip your hair around. That's the best she's gonna get. Now, common mistake from here, holding onto the wrist with a C-clamp, okay? So now, from here, just do a wrist release. Good. Now we can get into some more technical ways of holding that, but right now, this is more than good enough for maintenance. Okay, we're only doing maintenance today. Pause. From here, she punches my ribs. I cover that distance, hug the head, hand on the tricep. She punches my ribs. I cover that distance. Two monkey grips on the triceps. From here, my knees are flared out. My hips are gently lifting. My heels are on the hip bones, and I keep my head down. Okay, I'm not sitting up like this, waiting to be headbutt. I'm gonna stay low now, okay? So remember, when we were in stage one, from here, my head is off the ground. If the head's on the ground right now, headbutt. Boom. I stay tight. Now she punches. Good. And if I keep my head up, boom, headbutt. Head comes down in stage two, okay? So now from stage two, feet are on the hips, monkey grips on the tricep, knees are flared, and right now, look at the camera for me. There shouldn't be anything comfortable about this. Your shin should be driving into the lower parts of the bicep, almost like a bicep slice. No, that's not a thing for me. It's just uncomfortable. From here, my elbows are pinched in, monkey grips are pulling, shins are pushing, and now my hips are gently coming up and my head is going down. Perfect stage two. Now from here, if they want to push back in, they want to come back in, perfect. I'm going to take them off into a side as I bring them in. I never want to bring, boom, right back into my face, okay? So from here, we can start to turn just a little bit, like a steering wheel. And we pick a side, and we bring them in. Okay, so that's stage two. Let's do that. And time, everybody on the line. Yeah, it's weird running a class, and there's no class. I'm used to just yelling at people on camera now. So this is new. No. Go pinch your knees. What are you doing? I'll take up a book. That is very good. Pause here. Straight line. Stay where you are. There's no space here. Space here. So yes, good. Put your foot on my hip bone. That one. Yes, good. Much harder to deal with. Now from here, you're not holding the head. Yes, good. Very good. That's not bad. I want you to lift your hips. Make sense? Yeah. Okay. Drop your hips. Make sense? Okay. Lift your hips. Push your knees out. Can I headbutt? Can I touch your face? Don't let me come through. Keep your elbows. Yes. Yes. This is so painful. I'm coming back in. Yes, 100%. Good work. One more time. We'll do it on another angle. Why are you holding the back of my head? Yes. Hug my neck. Just like you're gonna go back a step, pause. Cross your ankles. Hug my neck. Don't let me out. Yes, you got me. Good. No, relax. Breathe. You got me, right? Good. Now swap hands. Swap hands. Thank you for hitting. Swap hands. Pause here. Yes. Come back. Do that again.
It's simultaneously.
I would do it simultaneously. If you don't, we can get headlocked. Stay sticky. From here, yes. Very good. Now pause. Relax. Come back to step one. Touch your elbow and your knee together. Pause here. Don't do anything else. You feel that?
Yep.
Grab the back of my neck now. Yes, yes. You're safe. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. From here, hold my neck. Hold my neck. Don't let, yes. You're good. That was good. Okay. So there are tiny little details to this. The more you drill it slow with your partner, just like the guillotine. When we were standing, and I just kind of gave you a guillotine. And I gave you a guillotine. Then eventually I tried to push through you. And then I tried to pull my head out. That's important that you do this. Okay? Be a really good partner for the first couple of goes. And then if you feel them doing something wrong, it's okay to tell them. Don't go inverted and do a heel hook as a response. Just think about the headbutt. Think about touching the face. So much more important right now. Okay? Let's move into the next stage on this. Up my guard. Pause here. Stage one, maintenance. She does a push-up. Good. She tries to swim. Good. Pause. From here, she tries to punch me. I can touch my elbow and my knee together to buy me some time. Continue to punch. Yes, you're fine. Hug the head. Hold the tricep. Now from here, she goes to punch on the other side. Perfect. I just needed to put up a barrier. My hips don't stay low. They come up. My head goes down. My hips come up. Now from here, two things are going to happen. One, the person's going to want to get away. Two, they're going to want to come back. If they come back in, just take them off the center line and go back to stage one. Now, what's important for you to understand, if she sits up, pause, go back to your knees and just sit down and put your head up. Perfect. We'll deal with standing at the end. Pause here, sit down, sit up. Yes. I don't have the same control that I had. Relax, come back to stage two. From here, this is good. If she starts to sit up, my knees follow, okay? So I need to put up another barrier. Right now, I have a barrier right here. If she starts to sit up, I have to have another barrier. Now, I do not stay here. Touch my face. This is good. She could definitely hit me in the crotch, though. My job is to never stay there. It's a transition. Now, this is a transition that's going to look very familiar to a lot of people because it's a hip escape. So from here, my partner sits up, my knees close, my hips lift. Now I'm going to put all my weight into my right shoulder and push my butt away, okay? So again, if you look at me without her, it is literally that motion. It's not the hip escape we do at the start of class. This is going to be me lifting, and I put all my weight into one shoulder, and then I move my butt. Okay, so let's do that one more time. Almost done. Pause. Start from stage two with your partner. Your partner's going to sit up straight. They're not going to stand just yet. You're going to snap your knees shut, lift your hips, shift your hips. Now from here, we are in what's called an open ballet tuno guard. What's important for you guys to understand is that I need you to keep coming towards me. Pause. From here, you are not huddled up in a little ball. Perfect. You are always going to have your knee high, foot on the hip, and you're going to be on that shoulder and far away. Okay, touch my face. It's hard for her to touch my face. It's easy for me to touch hers. This will be stage three, okay? And we will have extensive classes on this. And this is a mean place to be. There's a lot of fun stuff to do here. But let's start at stage 2. You're going to do this to me in a second. Stage 2, your partner sits up straight. Your knees shut, your hips lift, hips shift. Keep your shin high. Keep your foot on the hip. If I'm huddled in a little ball, I'm in trouble. So I'm always going to extend away. I want to be on my shoulder, not my back. On my shoulder is good. Now from here, your partner's going to try and touch your face, and you're going to touch theirs. Just to prove a point. That is stage 3. Swap, and you're going to do it to me. Nice and slow, nice and controlled. Feet on the hips, hands on the triceps. Good. For your partner, I don't want you to stand up, and I don't want you to push it. I want your head to go back. Perfect. Perfect. That is 100% correct. I want you to get on your right shoulder and shift your hip out. Good. Don't let me come. Yes. That is fucking perfect. I love you. Come back and do it again. Again and again and again. Good. Why am I here? Yes. Yes. I don't want to be here. Knees shut, hips shift, build a frame. I can't touch the face. You can touch mine. Perfect. Pause here. Keep your knees, pause. Keep your knees bent. Push the top knee forward and leave that foot as a hook. So only do the things I'm making you do. Perfect. Okay? From here, push my hip. Yes. Hold this foot. Yes.
Okay.
Don't let me touch your face. 100%. No, you were fine. 100%. Touch my face. Yes. Good. One last time. Nice and slow. Start stage 2. Close the door. Shift the hips. Perfect. Touch my face. I know you want to. Good. Pause. Put your foot on my knee. Hit me. With your fist. Good. Time. We're going to do the last one, which is standing. Okay? So everything we've done so far is managing distance. That's all. I'll show you submissions along the way as we go. Okay? But for now, last one. Start with your partner. Stage 2. Your partner lifts their head. Close the door. Lift the hips. Shift the hips and pause. Pause. My foot stays on the hip bone. Okay? Now, I'm not doing nothing with this. It's connected. I'm kind of pushing and I'm kind of pulling, and it's uncomfortable. Now, when my partner goes to stand up, I don't stay like this. Come back down. My foot is a firm connection forever. When my partner goes to stand up, it pulls me here. Okay? So now I have 2 feet on the hips. My toes are out. My heels are in. Touch my face. Good. Okay. Come back down, please. Stage 3, and then we'll do one full drill. From here, your foot, toes out, heel in. Shin up, your head's away. As your partner goes to stand, whether they like it or not, they're dragging you into stage 4. You tie them in a knot with their own belt. Your heels are in, your toes are out. Okay? Now, from here, holding this, I'm not ramrod straight. My knees are bent. Okay? Now, from here, my head doesn't need to be out. I'm just doing a crunch at this point. I'm going to put my head down. I'm going to lift my hips up. You're going to see how they start to walk away. You're actually making a connection to them and adding weight, okay? So from here, your partner's going to reach for you and touch your face. Distance is managed. Good. Your partner's going to reach for you and touch your face. Lift your hips. Your hips come off of the ground and they add weight. Now, final thing to add on this. If my partner was to walk towards me, continue to walk, continue to walk, continue to walk. Don't get stacked up on your neck. Continue to walk. Walk on your shoulders to keep that distance. Okay? You do that to me. Okay, stage 2. Perfect. From here, if I sit up, the door's closed. Your hips come up. Now you shift. 100%. Good. Now stay connected nice and firm with this. And when I stand, perfect. That's it. Don't let me touch your face. Lift your hips off of the mat and keep your head on the ground. Good. This is perfect. I'm very happy. Yeah, I'm very happy. I continue to walk. 100%. Okay. Last possible thing. The split drop. Come here. Go ahead and stand up. If she wants to reach for my face, yes, there's nothing stopping me from just letting them come back into stage one, okay? So if all that weight's coming forward, be ready to post. I never just let go. So good. I never just let go with one foot. I'm always gonna have a controlled demolition, okay? So we never do what's called a split drop. Right there, she falls halfway in and ends up hitting me by default. So safety purposes, let your knees spread. And if you guys remember the last class, your flinch drill, touch my face, yes, touch my face, touch my face, yes, yes. You can bring them in slow motion, okay? Or you can bring them in violently onto an elbow. So if I'm here and she wants to reach for my face, I could just build a frame, like a ramp. That ramp can be nice or it can be mean. So she wants to touch my face. My job, boom. Bring them into stage one, okay? And back to your knees, butter. Perfect. Stage one, punch me in the ribs. Stage two. Stage three. Stage four. Come back in. Stage one. Okay, sit up straight, really mean it. Stage three, stand up. Stage four, we're gonna swap roles, and you're gonna do this. Okay. Now that you have some knowledge on this, 4 stages. Each one of those has multiple submissions and striking ability, okay? I need you to understand just the basic movements of all those 4, and we can add on to it. But for now, test your partner slowly. Stage one. Good. Good. Yes. Perfect. Wow. Stage one. Swim. Come out from the outside underneath to the swim. Perfect. Out from the outside underneath. 100%. Hold your knees to your chest a little bit more. Yes. Very good. I'm trying to swim. Yes, very good. Why not looking at you? 100%. No, we're not done. Not even close. Good work. Again. Yes. Why am I looking at you? Very good. From here. Good work. Oh, good work. Yes. Good. Very good. Yes. Good. Widen the knees. Move my head out of the way. Yes. Back to stage one. Good. Again. 3. No. It's okay. Okay. You didn't forget anything. You didn't lose anything. Where am I? Pinch your knees, lift your hips, can I touch your face? Perfect, come back. Don't feel like you screwed anything up. Not bad. That's some good reflexes you got there. You don't get to have stage one. You don't get to have anything. You get what I give you, period. Okay? If you're in a fight, you don't go like, I'm doing stage 2. No. If you get into a clinch, you don't go like, I'm doing suplex. Okay? Leg hook, because he pulled. Oh, hip throw, because he stepped behind. Cool, I'm just going to hoist and slam it, because he's pushing into it. Same thing. Stage 1. You're doing really good. That's really good. What about now? Not bad. Not bad. What I want is reflex, okay? Don't let me touch your face. That's all. Don't let me touch your face. Don't touch mine. Don't let me touch your face. Don't let me touch your face. On the camera. Let's stay on the camera for this. Pause. Don't let me touch your face. Yes. Good. Don't let me touch your face. Yes. Good. I'm doing really good. Yes. 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 Not bad. Okay. All right. Woo, 2 minutes to spare. You bad little fucker. Good work. Oh, Laura. You did good. Okay. So today's class, what we went over. Let's fix that. Okay. Today's class, what we went over. Tackle defense. Good fucking God, I'm bad at this. Today's class, tackle defense, guillotine standing. On the ground, punch block, stages 1 through 4. Now, since there's only a couple of you, and I will post this a bunch more over on that one, I will add on, there is no stage 2. Right? That's a firm quote, okay? If you're in the closed guard, you are never in stage 2. Stage 3, stage 4, no, there's belly to the ground. There's heavy belly to the ground, and there's open belly to the ground. Everything should go on an angle, okay? So this is default that you need to know. If you're stuck underneath in a straight line, you can't be bearing all that weight, okay? You need to understand swimming. You need to understand distance management. You need to understand not getting your face touched. You need to understand distance management. You need to understand distance management, period. Now, eventually, what I want from you is a heavy side belly to the bar, okay? And it just builds from that. That's a straight Hickson quote, by the way, just asking him. So what do you think about stage 2? What can I add on to this? No, doesn't exist. Your job is to add weight and be a nightmare. It should never be on a straight line. It should always be on an angle. Their weight should mean nothing. Yours should mean everything. I think that's a good closing note. 102. We're good. Whew. Oh, Laura. You good, baby?
Oh, yeah. I don't know if you guys want to ask questions.
I highly doubt it. Nobody ever wants to ask questions.
Okay.
If you want to ask questions, feel free. Hit unmute.
You can unmute yourself.
You can unmute yourself.
They can.
Ask to unmute. Ask to unmute. Unmute.
Okay.
Anybody? We're good.
All right.
Told you. Nobody gives a shit. All right.
Thank you.